Okay, so to start up using Wusik SQ200, the first time you open the application, you have to set up the audio device. It should already open this, but if it doesn't, just click on the Wusik logo here and select Audio MIDI settings. And here you can set up your audio device. The best option is to use the ASIO driver, but I'm going to use Direct Sound or Windows Audio because my sound card is not going to capture the audio from the ASIO to my streaming program here. So I'm just going to select the output of my sound card here. I can use the test to check if the signal is not being stopped, like clicking and popping. So okay, it's working. I can select any MIDI inputs here. So if I have a MIDI keyboard, I'm going to select it here and just click Save it. So the next step is the Plugins Manager. Just click on the Wusik logo again, select Plugins Manager. And here, for the first time you run, it's going to be empty. Just go and select Options and scan for new or updated VST plugins. And after you have done that, you're going to select the VST3 if you have any. And on OS 10 is going to show scan for new or updated audio units, AU plugins. So you have to do this for all the three options. On Windows, it's just two options. So let's start up with the VST. So you can add as many folders you have for your VST plugins and just click Scan. In my case here is going to be very fast because it already scanned all the plugins I have. And on the 64 bits version of the application on Windows, it also tries to open 32 bits plugins. You can see here you have 64 and 32 bits plugins because it has a bridge code that allows you to use 32 bits VST plugins in Windows 64 bits application and also the plugin version of the program. When you have scanned all the plugins, it's going to show all selected, so you can see they are black, and you can unselect those if you don't want to show up. So I have some plugins that are for Sonar, like this one, so I have to click it and set active, not active. And at the bottom you can see the plugins that crashed and did not scan at all. So they are here. You can delete those if you want to try again. So let's say I want to try again the quick box here. I'm going to just delete with the delete key and select scan again. And on Windows, the scan uses an external process. So if the plugin crashes, it just continues scanning. On OS 10, it's going to crash the whole application and you have to restart, and it's going to detect that the last plugin that crashed was this plugin, and it's going to add to the ignore list like it has done right now. So okay, I have my list here. I have already set unactive a lot of plugins here. Another thing you can do is set custom names. So I can click Edit Custom Name. I can go to top of the list, so it shows before other plugins. I can check the editor of the plugin if possible, just to check whatever it is. But right now it only works on 64-bit plugins. Doesn't work on 32-bit plugins. But bridging, you can bridge 32-bit plugins. Let me show this. So okay, I close it now. I'm going to add a track instrument. I'm going to add the ARP 2016, which is a 32-bit plugins, and are running Windows 64 bits, and this is the 64 bits version of the program. What it's going to do is create a hidden process which links to this one. So I can just go ahead and use my 32 bits plugins. So it just works very well. You can also notice that my first instruments are Wusik 8008 and Wusik SQ200 version 9 because I have selected on the plugins manager to be top of the list for both. So let's see, it's this one, so it's top of the list, and Wusik 8008 also top of the list. So it's a very nice feature. So there are some other options here, like enable all, disable selected, so I can select a bunch of plugins with shift and click, or just use up and down on the keyboard and shift and up and down, and I can then go enable selected or just disable selected. And I'll select remove any plugins whose files no longer exist. Just a nice feature for when you're testing plugins. And that's it. Now you have done the audio and the plugins manager. And if you plan on using samples, sample files, audio files, and acid loop files, you just go to the sample folders and add those folders here. So when you create a track that is an audio track, sorry, here, track 3 is empty, audio track new is going to show up those folders. In this case I have two folders, the wave samples and the exit tests. So if I go to my wave samples, I have some very large files here on the filter recordings. Let me check that to compilation. So those, where are my files? There's a lot of files here. So it's very easy to load. And to navigate, you just use the up, down, and left, right keys, and the backspace keys. In this case, on the menu here, the undo is going to be your previous folder. Just use the backspace on the computer keyboard. And this is just to start up the program and have everything ready. You can also use on the options, there are a few options there, like you can change the skin, the sound of metronome, and everything else is pretty much ready to be used. So I'm not going to cover a lot of this here because the information is all on the manual, so you can check the manual for that. And on the next video I'm going to give a very short tutorial on how to start your first song and how to work from there. So that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching again.